Welcome to another edition of Inside Titan Sports. I'm your host, Jeff Radcliffe, and for the next 30 minutes, we'll take you on a magical mystery tour on all things Eastern Florida State College athletics. On this edition, we catch up with both the men's and women's basketball programs, and let's talk a little tennis. Women's tennis program here with head coach Jerry Thor and his fabulous freshman Annalie Collings. That's coming up, but first we begin with basketball. The men's basketball program ranked top 20 in the country, now still undefeated in Southern Conference play. Jeremy Schulman, the head coach, joining us, and coming off the heels of a really big win against number 12 Palm Beach, 90-86.
Absolutely. I mean, what a game. What a game. And any time that we get to play against Palm Beach, it's going to be a great game. They've got an unbelievable program. It's definitely a rivalry that ever since I came into the league 6 years ago when Butch Estes was the coach, and now with Martin McCann as the coach. And so you knew it was going to be a great game regardless, and it lived up to its billing. 90-86 win, and it was back and forth a lot in the second half, and we beat a really, really, really good team. So very proud of our guys. 4
ties in this one. It was one of those games where you'd get a little cushion, then they'd fight back to get within 1 or 2. You'd get a little cushion, and they just kind of kept coming back at you, and that's what you would expect from them.
They played great. They made shots. I mean, they shot 50% from the three-point line, hitting 12 threes, hit a couple of the long twos. And I honestly, after watching the film, I didn't think our defense was that bad. After the game, I was not real pleased, obviously, giving up 86 points. But after breaking down the film, my hat goes off to Palm Beach. I mean, they executed and they made plays. But our guys, thank goodness we found a way to make a couple extra plays and found a way at the end.
You never trailed in this game, which is obviously very important. But it's also a situation where you've now put them to 3-3. I mean, they were obviously being highly ranked in the nation, but also a favorite in the conference along with you guys. Now they got 3 losses in that loss column. It puts you guys in a really good position. We said the driver's seat after the game. Is that apropos?
It puts us in good position. Now, what we can't do is just rest on our laurels. We've got to, obviously with 3 big road games this week, we can't rest on our laurels. We've got to just prepare for the next one, Of course, Saturday now we've got Indian River on the road at their place, who's playing fantastic basketball this year.
What are some of the things that you think going forward here in the next couple of weeks? I know the free throw shooting is something we talked about on the broadcast, something you've brought up ad nauseum this year. With all the good things that are happening, there are things that you guys could win a little bit more comfortably sometimes.
I still think we have to get better on the boards. We're inconsistent rebounding. That's something that at times we've been really good. Our national stats for a while were looking good, and then there's certain tough games that we've played where we haven't rebounded the way I want to rebound. And rebound is something that's very, very important to me, important to our system and our program. So we got to rebound better. Obviously, we got to continue to defend better. Got to execute a little bit better offensively down the stretch. When we've had a lead, sometimes we've kind of sat on the lead a little bit and haven't been as sharp offensively down the stretch. So got to get better in those factors if we want to accomplish the goals that we've got set out for us.
Jeremy, let's talk about some of the individual contributions here. It's kind of the usual suspects, at least it has been the last couple of weeks. C.J. Jackson, your freshman point guard, 21 points again, and you've called him the best point guard in the country, perhaps.
Oh, absolutely. I think C.J. is. And he's gotten so much better since he's gotten here. It's because he was he's a freshman. Again, it's very easy to forget he's a freshman with his maturity on the court and his production on the court, but he does it all. He's an outstanding defender. He's a great leader. He's a great offensive player. Yeah. He passes the ball well. He calms the team on the floor. There's a reason he played 40 minutes and didn't take him out even for 1 tick of the clock against Palm Beach.
I had a nice conversation with his father following the game, Mark Moses and I. What a great man to talk
Absolutely.
to, and really, really supportive of
Absolutely.
CJ, of course. B.J. Gladden, Georgie Baranya continue to be, the glue guys on the team, the guys who are really putting in all that effort, and 17 and 15 points respectively. But it's what they do not scoring really that helps this team.
It really is. They're both 2 more captains on the team. They're both leaders. They're both sophomores. BJ coming from a Division I school, Georgie obviously won the championship with us last year. Just what they bring, both on the court and off the court, is just absolutely invaluable. And I want to make a special shout out to Georgie in particular because there's not a lot of players that are as overlooked as he is because he's not flashy, he's not a highlight film guy, but he just wins. And having 3 dives on the floor in the second half. I mean, those every one of them. We don't get one of those dives on the floor and got all 3 of the loose balls from it. Maybe we don't win the game. And he's an ultimate competitor, and he's the backbone of this team.
Yeah, one of those off of a missed bunny, really. And he just kind of kept at it and kept at it. And yeah, usually when you see the big guys, that's a big burden to be dropping to the floor at that size, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely, it is. And it's a testament to just how hard he plays and his passion for the game and his passion to win. And he's a great player, and he's a fun player to coach. We're definitely going to miss him after this year.
Let's talk about some of the unsung heroes. We talked about the last couple of weeks the contributions of Austin Awad, the Melbourne High graduate, but also you got another local kid, Keone Wallington, who came off the bench, scored 11 points, provided a great spark, and he played right down the road from our location here at Holy Trinity.
Oh, Keone was unbelievable. He actually had 12 when the final count came in. He had 12 in. We thought he had a mismatch coming in. He hadn't played a lot in a couple of games before, but we really liked his matchup in this game, and thank goodness we were right. And he was unbelievable, especially first half. They couldn't guard him. I mean, knocking down outside shots, driving in the lane, assisting. He's a great player that just has stayed humble, has just waited his turn, and his turn was definitely on Saturday.
Yeah, he was in high school. He was a player of the year in this county. But man, you see his confidence continue to build, and once he got going, he believed in himself and his teammates as well.
Absolutely, and he's a special player. I mean, he's a Division I player. There's no doubt about it. He's surrounded by a lot of other talented players, and it did take him a little bit of adjustment learning the college game, but. As he's come along, as the confidence is growing, I mean, he just look out for more great things to come for him for sure.
18-3, 6-0 right now in the Southern Conference. You feel you're at a good spot. Was there a little? I don't know how you draw it up in the locker room as far as motivation, but you guys rank 19th going into the game.
Right.
Palm Beach 12th. Is that something that gets mentioned? Look, we've beaten them once before. Now we've done it again. Does that send a message to some of these people that are responsible for the rankings?
Absolutely. I've felt all year we've been underrated, and going into the game, I felt we were very underrated at number 19 in the country, and that was one of about 5 or 6 different motivational things we used with our guys. So we were not short on motivational techniques going into that game. And
guess what? It doesn't get any easier. Now you've got this commanding lead and being undefeated in the conference, but now you go on the road for 3 straight. And you mentioned at Indian River, a team that last year finished in last place in the conference, but now they could arguably next to you guys the best team in the league.
Absolutely. Charlie Wilson in his first year at Indian River is just doing an unbelievable job. They're the best shooting team in the state and possibly the best shooting team in the country, and they're such a tough matchup. They run great sets on offense. Our goal on Saturday is just to be 1-0. Don't care about our record beforehand, don't care about it after. We just want to be 1-0 on Saturday.
And you get another chance, folks, to watch the Titans again. That's coming up on Tuesday. That game will be live on WEFS TV against Miami-Dade, and another team that will take you and max you guys to the limit for sure.
Absolutely. We had a great comeback win at Miami-Dade. We were down 13 points at halftime and really played well second half and made plays down the stretch. So I know they're going to be fired up to have another chance at us. And we've got a target on our back. So again, every day of practice, every day in film session, every day in our workouts, and obviously every game, got to prepare and just get ready to win each game one at a time.
Jeremy Schulman, head coach of your Titans, best of luck and continued success in the Southern Conference.
Appreciate it, Jeff.
Talk to you next week. On the way next, when we come back, we will shift gears from the men's program to the women's program, coached by the legendary Jim Grimes. He'll be in the seat next week when we come back on Inside Titan Sports.
Eastern Florida State College. This is where you discover new opportunities, where you pursue your dreams, and careers take flight. Apply now for new bachelor and associate degree programs in business, healthcare, computer technology, and other growing fields. Eastern Florida, where Titans rise. Apply today.
Welcome back to Inside Titan Sports. I'm your host, Jeff Radcliffe. We now talk about the women's basketball program, which continues to rattle off victories, now undefeated in Southern Conference play. The head coach, the one, the only, Jim Grimes. Welcome back this week. Congratulations. 2 very hard-fought wins in conference, and things are kind of rounding into form for you guys now.
Yeah, we were really pleased with how we played this past weekend, and so still a long way to go, but we're happy with where we are right now for sure.
Let's talk about the midweek game first, the game at home against St. Pete. They come in last place in the league, not really doing much in the way of competing, but they stretched you to the end. It takes overtime to beat them, and you're going to have games like that during the season, aren't you?
Yeah, the Southern Conference obviously it's one of the toughest leagues in the country, and we knew that going in. And Coach Davidson at St. Pete, I respect her as much as any coach in the country, and she does a really, really great job with them. And they came in ready to play hard, and we beat them by 20 the first time we played them, but that was a closer game than maybe the score indicated. And it took everything we had in that game to come out with a victory. Down to with 8 seconds left, and took a big shot by Crystal to send it to overtime. And of course we were able to, with Trudy, scoring 6 big points in overtime. That was really big for us.
83-77, the final score. Had a pretty healthy lead at halftime too. But you're a guy who likes to play a lot of the players, and you got some of the reserves in, and then they started coming back on you there a little bit.
Yeah, the third quarter, we might have left our bench in there a little bit. I wanted to see kind of how they would handle that, and I also was trying to get some of our rotation players some rest, and that might have been a mistake on my part. Just kind of stretch the bench a little bit thinner than I wanted to, but thankfully we were able to recover from it.
You mentioned the tying bucket by Crystal Townsend, who we had here last week. 22 points, and it seems that you're getting a lot of the same contributions from a lot of the key cogs in the wheel here. But does seem to be somebody else, somebody different that is kind of leading the charge every game for you guys.
Yeah, that's a really nice thing to have for a coach. We have several versatile players. We have a lot of what we would call go-to kids. Crystal's certainly one of them. She's really started to come into her own. She started slow kind of scoring-wise. She always does a lot of things that don't show up in the box score. Yeah. So she's been valuable from the start, but she started to find her shooting touch in the last few games, and then that's been really big for her and big for us. You
mentioned Trudy Walker, a freshman, and we'll get to another fabulous freshman here in a second, but really took over in the overtime period with 6 straight points.
Yeah, she's really just growing every single day. Trudy's a very special young lady. She's a worker. She wants to get better every day. She's always asking, how can I get better? Always, full of questions, and she was huge for us in that overtime. We definitely don't win the game without her.
Well, you follow that performance against St. Pete with a really big win against Indian River. That one on the road, you led 50-32 at the half and go out and win 89-63. And it's Daishika Price again. The last couple of games, she's come off the bench, and now she's getting even more and more contributions, but 24 points. Where has this been all season?
Yeah, Daishika is sneaky good. The coaching staff, we recruited her. She's a local kid out of Cocoa High School. She was a great scorer in high school. And again, as the season went on, I think just as a lot of freshmen do, it took her a while to kind of find her way. But the last few games, she had a big game against Palm Beach. She was crucial in that conference win. And of course, the other day, she came right off the bench and she was definitely ready to go. Very aggressive offensively. She's gifted offensively. That's kind of, in her wheelhouse to be a scorer. And if you know Daishika at all, she's just so mild-mannered, and she always has the same look on her face, good or bad, very quiet. And but when she wants to go, she can go. So we just got to find a way to get her to do that more often.
Townsend had 18 points. Nina Johnson had 15. Paula had 13. But really, what jumps out the box score to me was Kenya Jones, 12 points, 10 rebounds, and here's another young player that's really come to play now.
Yeah, well, Kenya has really turned a corner for us. We have really worked hard with her in rebounding and challenged her to be one of our leading rebounders. She had a double-double. She's got 2 out of the last 3 games where she's had double-digit rebounds. She's really starting to find her way in our system. It took her a little bit, but Kenya is gifted. She's probably one of our most talented players, freshman out of the Chicago area, and she's been big for us. I actually met with her this morning. We went over some of the film, and she's going to be a big part of what we're doing moving forward for sure.
6-0 in the conference. You're right where you need to be, of course, but it doesn't get any easier. You got a couple of tough games this week. The Miami-Dade game on Saturday is a key one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's for sure. Coach Summons is always a tough coach to go against. She's one of the most well-respected coaches in the country, and she's been there many, many years. And going to on a long road trip and winning at Miami-Dade is always something very difficult to do. So we're going to have to really work hard this week in practice, prepare very well, and we'll have to play very well to beat them for sure.
This point of the schedule is difficult because it's every couple of days you got a game. There's really no rest for the weary. You go on the road, now you come back home on Monday and play. The games get bigger and bigger, but then you got Palm Beach right after that, and talk about them coming in here. And the good news is you have this at home, and it's really been a good place for you as of late.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround. We have a couple weeks like that during the conference season just so we can get all the games in. So this will be our week to really, not have a lot of rest in between those games, and coming off a long road trip, we'll have to, get rest as quick as we can and be ready to go on Monday.
Last week with Crystal and Emma, we talked a little bit about the schedule that you had in December. You played, according to Kenneth Massey of the Massey ratings, the toughest schedule in the country. You took your lumps there. You had a 5 straight loss. You had a little streak there in December. But now you look back, and now here's the brilliance of making that schedule, because now in conference you're undefeated, and it seems like the team has really learned from that.
They really have. They've been a really special group, and they've responded to adversity really, really well. The old saying goes, you never lose, you learn or you win. And we feel like we learned a lot, playing against some of the best teams in the country. I learned a lot, coaching against some of the best coaches in the country. And every time we went out there against some of those nationally ranked teams, we definitely, I feel like we got better. And we don't talk a lot about the result anyway. We want to grow every day. We want to get better every day. Mm-hmm. And we definitely did that, because of our schedule.
What's the talk here in the next couple of weeks, whether you're on the bus on a road trip or in the locker room on the whiteboard? What are some of the key things you're going to focus on? What messages do you have to give to this team to take that next step?
Yeah, we're really just focusing a lot on what I just said. Focusing on every day. We can't look ahead. We're 6-0 right now. We feel good. We feel good. We're in first place. That feels good, but they don't give us a trophy for being in first place right now. So we can't relax. We can't take. We don't talk about taking days off. We say don't take one moment off. In the game, in practice, be the hardest worker in the room, and the results will take care of themselves. So far, we've been able to do that, but we've got a long way to go. So we got to keep that focus.
Jim Grimes, best of luck. It is a key stretch for the women's basketball team, the Titans. Again, next chance to see them at home will be coming up Monday, February 1st, that game against Palm Beach. Come out, check out the hardest working team in the league by a large margin. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. We'll talk at you next week. When we come back, we'll shift gears. We'll go outside. Even though the weather seems to be chilly right now, it's going to heat up with some tennis action. The women's tennis team, led by Jerry Thor, and we'll also introduce you to Annalie Collins. That is coming next on Inside Titan Sports.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Welcome back to Inside Titan Sports. I'm Jeff Radcliffe, and it's a real treat. For the first time in 2016, we get to talk Titans tennis. There's some alliteration for you as we bring in the head coach, now 5 months into his tenure, Jerry Thor. Welcome.
Hey, thanks, Jeff.
And the fabulous freshman recruit from University High School in Orange City, the DeBerry native, Annalie Collins. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
TV debut. Although we've seen the highlights, of course, of your exploits at the high school level. But here we go. I just mentioned five months into the tenure. Now, this weekend, finally the first competition that actually counts towards a record, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. This group of women have been working really hard through our off season in the fall. We've been practicing for 2 weeks. The weather's been cooperating for the most part. At least we're outside practicing in the winter, which is something coming from Chicago and New York I haven't been used to. We're excited. We've got a tough schedule ahead, and we hit the road this weekend right away.
Annalie, how ready are you to start the season here? This is your freshman season, the first time playing collegiate tennis. You've had to be waiting for this for a long time.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We've been trying to prepare the whole fall season, and then we're ready to start this weekend.
How ready are they, in your opinion? Is it you ready for competition, or could you use another 5 months of seasoning?
Well, we've picked up 3 freshmen here at the break that joined us, so they've had 2 weeks of practice before their first competition. We'll play Ave Maria University, so we'll have some newcomers playing maybe some veterans in their 80th tennis match, so it'll be good matchups. And then we head to Miami to play ASA, the #1 team in the country. So that'll be an early test to be a little bit of an understatement there. But the women are excited, and I think we're gonna compete very hard and see where we're at.
Annalie, how has the adjustment been from the high school tennis here in Florida to the collegiate side, and or is the jury still out on that? You're not really sure what the verdict is going to be.
Well, I mean, it's very different because of like the toughness of everybody that we play, and definitely the practices are more intense, but the structure is still similar.
Something you would agree on? I mean, what adjustments do you have to? Some of these girls coming, the freshmen. I mean, how do you help them kind of adjust to that life? Because you've been there as a former collegiate tennis player.
Yeah, I think all of our players are used to kind of being the star on their high school team, and here everybody's a star. Everybody's on that same level. We play 8 of the top 10 teams in the country in our conference, and it's going to be tough. 3 of the top 5 in the nation are in our region, and top 3 go to nationals. So, you know, I think all of our players kind of understand that coming to Florida to play tennis, you're going to play good matches day in and day out, and they just need to be ready for that. And I think the way they've approached the off-season conditioning, the way that they've kind of managed the month-long break they've had, they've come ready to play and ready to compete.
Annalie, what attracted you to come to Eastern Florida State College? Obviously being close, and I'm sure the facilities certainly played a part.
Well, yeah, I was really excited about the new facilities, and then also the team was so nice when I came and tried out, and so like just the environment seemed really nice.
Excellent. I mean, tell me about Annalie as a player, and what does she bring in the collegiate aspect as far as how the competition is set as far as building a team for you?
Well, she's a tough competitor. I think the one thing that strikes me is she really enjoys being out there competing in matches. She doesn't let the stress or the big moments get to her. She's got a great serve, great doubles player. She played #1 doubles in the fall. We look for that to continue here in the spring. Just an overall great teammate. Everybody enjoys going up against her in practice. She really pushes her teammates hard, and a great person to have on the team, and I really enjoy working with her.
Sure, more than half the team are probably, competitors, former competitors at the state level here in Florida, but now they're your teammates. Is there relationships that were already existing coming in?
No, I actually didn't know any of my teammates
Okay.
prior to coming here, but once I came here, we all got really close, and so there was no like competition really between us.
Sure.
Prior.
Well, that's important. I mean, and getting along, because you think tennis is an individual sport in a lot of ways, but there really is the team aspect at this level, isn't there?
Yeah, I try to say as a team in tennis, we want to strive for individual excellence together. So we try to push each other, and if everybody takes care of business on their court, as a team, we'll get the job done that day.
So Ave Maria, what do you know? Is there scouting that goes in, or do you just listen to what Coach has to say on that?
I'm basically just listening to what Coach
Yeah.
has to say on it. I don't know much about the team besides
Sure.
what I've heard.
Let me just follow that up. Are you the type of player that I'm not really worried as much about who I'm playing, or is there a lot of scouting involved when you know you're going up against a tough rival?
Yeah, I try not to scout too much because I don't want to get myself nervous before a match. I prefer just going in and like doing the best that I can, however it is.
Talk about we've already mentioned a little bit about Annalie, but just talk about some of the teammates and what is the makeup, and maybe some of the other people that could stand out here this year.
Her doubles partner, Juliana Hull, had a great fall. We look for them to compete well together. Great doubles player, really hard worker. We added Katharina Drebka, is from Stuttgart, Germany, joined us 2 weeks ago, and she right away propelled herself to the top of our lineup. We've got Anna Cristina Orozco joined us, and we have Nicole Trio, our team captain. She's been a great leader for the program on and off the court, really helping in my 5 months here. Kind of establish the standards we expect, and we expect big things from her on the tennis court this spring too.
Well, Annalie, you've got this great facility, this sparkling new tennis courts to play on. You don't get a chance to play on them until the 19th of February against St. Pete. That's got to be tough. You get to go on the road here to start. I know you're looking forward to the first home match.
Yeah, we're definitely really excited, and we're hoping to have support from all the other teams to come out. Everybody's asking, when's your first home match? Like everybody wants to come to the new courts.
I think, Jared, that's something that sets things apart here at Eastern Florida, too, is that you go to a soccer match, you go to a basketball game, all the other teams seem to be in cahoots and helping everybody out.
Yeah, you really get a big college atmosphere at our games. All the players get to know each other and support each other, and in turn, they'll be at our matches. To piggyback on what she said, it's almost every day people are asking when our match is, what's our schedule looking like. A lot of support, people coming out in the community, coming to see our practices and meet the team. It's been fantastic, and we look forward to kicking things off in February.
We look forward to seeing you February 19th at the tennis facility. If you haven't either played there or visited, tennis courts are open to the public too at certain times, so go to the school website to find out information on that as well. Jerry Thor, thanks for joining us. Annalie Collings, best of luck this season. Hope to see you in that chair again later on. And that's all the time we have for this edition of Inside Titans Sports. For more information on all of the Titans athletic programs, go to the school's website at easternflorida.edu/athletics, or better yet, join us each week here on WEFS for the next edition, of course, of Inside Titans Sports. I'm Jeff Radcliffe, and for all my guests, I'd like to say so long and go Titans.